No, it does seem like all we do is cook, but we do other things.
Have a life before COVID.
Believe it or not. But cooking is a love, and we are so happy to be here with all of you. And we get to talk about stuff that's important to us, like, say, tonight, for instance.
I mean, cooking is life. Cooking is love, right? It's more than just a hobby. It's you have to do it, to live.
Yeah, and it, since you do it 3 times a day, it might as well be like delicious what goes in your mouth.
And get into it like we do.
Yeah, for sure. It's fun.
So how's it going? I heard you were doing some other things other than cooking the last couple of days.
Yeah, well, I phone banked today a little bit for Georgia. I went out to visit a friend in Pecos, and I always love visiting her because her roots go way back in generationally, like 4 generations where she is. And so it was really beautiful, and it was raining, and their water and all of that. So that was really fun. And I actually had a nice audition today, so I got to do that. And yeah, so
for comedy, she's funny, people. She's funny. I can attest to that.
And I've been busy doing at least an hour of political work a day, but I am nowhere near our good friend Kelly House, who's doing it all day, every day, because she's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah. So
I had my COVID Omicron booster today.
Good for you. I got it a couple weeks ago. David's getting his tomorrow.
And the line was long.
Was it? Oh, good.
It was super long, but it was very organized. It went very quickly. I encourage everybody. Now's the time because holidays and people are traveling and
flu season. You don't want to mix all that up. You don't want to end up in the hospital during flu season. Come on. And they're afraid it's going to go back up to 1,000 people a day. So get it done, people.
It's easy. Yeah. So you're making.
You're awesome.
You're awesome, Kelly. So it's really cool that you're making an Iranian dish today, and we're doing this in solidarity with our Iranian sisters who are going through a major revolution right now, if no one realizes it.
That's right.
No,
we have 29 days, or we may be doing the same thing out in the street.
It's really, it's trickled down from the United States. It always is all over the world, and we don't really understand, I think, sometimes the magnitude we have globally on everything. And it's just, it just sucks right now. Like with Russia, everything sucks.
It does. I know. I'm in a group of women that we meet every Sunday, and they're from all over the world. And one of them is in the Ukraine. And I'm always scared for her when I see that there were big bombings today. So
today was awful. Absolutely horrendous.
Yeah. So we got to stand in solidarity because women are under it all over, people. Please do it. Listen, vote.org. Vote.org. You can check your registration. It takes 2 seconds. Do it now. Or as soon as you get off the show. And then send that to people and tell them to check their registration. Make sure that you're not kicked off the roll for some reason. Everybody has got to vote. That's my theory.
If you got to do it, it's like a month. It's 29 days.
But I'm making butternut squash because this is the season for butternut squash.
Hey, Mike's watching. Hi.
Hi, Mike.
Dr. David for meeting me at dinner Santa Fe way back in July. Aw.
Thanks, Mike. I'm glad. That's great. Yeah.
Thanks
I'm glad to be at your home theater too. Hi.
We have to have you back on the show, Mike.
Yeah. So here's my dish. I decided it's squash season, and this particular dish, Barani Kadu, can be made with pumpkin or another kind of squash, like a orange squash. There's all kinds of them. There's an Afghan pumpkin, which my friend Allie grew last year, and we ate that. It tastes somewhat different from what we know as pumpkin, but as you would know with like bananas, there's a gazillion kinds of pumpkin and orange squash.
Right.
So, but I got this beautiful one. It's pretty big, organic one. None of my hard squash did anything this year, so
that's hard to believe when last year it was so prolific.
I know. Well, what happened now, I in my life have never seen this. My zucchini have mold on them. Mold.
Ew. Ew.
Because of all the rain.
Yeah, we never get rain. Folks, we just had, since we saw you last, a week of rain. And I mean socked in Seattle type rain. We don't have this. And while we love the water, it was just foreign and strange.
It was amazing. And I was talking to a friend of mine, and she said before these last 3 days of rain, that somebody she knew had a rain gauge out in a neighborhood that's Rancho Viejo, not far from here. And they had clocked 16 inches of rain this year since January. We don't get 16 inches of rain in 3 years normally.
I mean, it's great for our water table and our plants and everything. It's great for everything.
Yeah, I'm so grateful. And
I walked in the aspens that are turning in the mountains in the ski valley in the rain, in the light rain. It was it was like being in just a fairy tale, in the clean air. I
know. Great. It's so wonderful. Everything looks so dark and lush and All right, so normally when I bake butternut squash, I bake it with the skin on. I eat the skin, but
I do too. I feel like there are vitamins in it.
There are vitamins in it, and it's delicious. But for this recipe, they said to just use the neck and peel it.
Okay.
So I thought, oh, well, I'll do that, but I don't know if I really needed to. So
where did you find this recipe? It sounds delicious.
I kind of scouted around for a bunch of them. This mostly this is the recipe that I got from the New York Times. Oh no, wait, Bon Appetit.
Nice.
But I saw a bunch of different. There's a lot of them that you can do with this particular kind of dish. A lot of the Iranian dishes I was thinking of just took too long. In the old days, we could be on the air for an hour. Nobody cared because nobody had anything to do.
Right now, people are back busy with their life, so they have to do faster cooking, we've noticed.
Yeah, some people are busy winning Emmys and
as you
go. So I'm cutting these about I don't know, not quite a half an inch, but a little more than a quarter into the half rounds.
Okay.
And then I'm putting them on a tray that's you can use parchment paper or that great silicone thing you gave me.
Otherwise known as Silpat.
Yeah, the Silpat. Yeah, and then I'm gonna just coat them a little bit with. You can use olive oil. Yeah, I'm gonna use olive oil. You can use like sunflower oil or something, that doesn't have a big flavor. I like olive oil, so I don't care. I like what it does and the flavor of it. So that's what I'm going to use.
Okay.
I already have the oven on 450. And so I'm just coating these a little bit with the olive oil. And then I'm going to put them in the oven. They're not going to take that long, maybe 15 or 20 minutes.
Okay.
Because they're not that thick. You know what I mean? But that's what you want to do is get them in the oven and get them cooked all the way through.
You're
It's just
roasting them with olive oil. Okay.
olive oil and salt in just a second
Salt.
when I wipe your hands
Okay.
off.
Okay.
Yeah, just a little salt. So I don't know, just thinking out loud, it's, you know, a hefty pinch of kosher salt. And as you know, our editor does not like it when we say that, but that's what they're getting.
It is what it is.
It is. I know. We love our editor, Julia.
It's, you know, it's funny when you write a cookbook. I mean, boy, what a journey we took. What a journey we took.
Wow.
I mean, right?
Yeah. It was amazing. Ugh. Just and going through all the stories too. It was something.
It was, yeah. I mean, it was really like writing a book of short stories. It was like writing two books, really, the cookbook part and the story part.
Yeah. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to toast up some walnuts. You could use hazelnuts. You could probably use pistachios if you wanted, but walnuts are kind of traditional in Iranian cooking. And I'm just going to toast them off. It's about a quarter of a cup in just this little cast iron frying pan.
Yum.
So I'm going to keep an eye on that while that's working. I also got some beautiful pomegranate seeds.
Ooh, we've been doing a lot of pomegranate lately.
I love pomegranate.
So good. I love them.
Yeah. So I'm going to chop up about 2-ish, maybe a little more because I'm Italian. making something. And it's about 2 to 3 cloves of garlic. Just mince them up.
Okay.
And then here, you know, they said, I've read this a couple places, that you could just mince the garlic and put it in the yogurt raw. But I like the toasty flavor. You know, I toast everything. So I'm going to do the toasty thing.
You've taught me that. Also, I would say this too, like when you use raw garlic, it's intense. And if you cook it a little bit, it takes a little bit of the edge.
That little edge off.
Yeah, you get the toasty flavor. Maybe not the worst breath you could have. Just a tad.
Just a little. Just toast it a little. Just take it down. So I'm going to use this Greek yogurt, and the Greek yogurt is thicker than just regular old yogurt.
I love yogurt.
I do too. It's so creamy.
Good.
And it doesn't usually get, you know, the milky stuff that floats to the top the same way that non-Greek yogurt does. It stays real thick.
Yeah.
So it's going to make a nice sauce for this, even if it is toasted garlic.
Yum. Toasted garlic sounds great.
I know, doesn't it? So I'm going to serve this tonight with, I'm making tandoori chicken wings. Even though I don't have a tandoori oven.
Yum.
But I did some tandoori spices.
That's yummy dinner.
Yeah, huh? And yeah, this is a dish that you can serve with grilled meats of some kind, you know, or I thought about making Iranian meatballs, but
Ooh.
I wanted to do this instead. But you know what you could do? They also are made with I was reading about them. They're ground turkey with a pomegranate sauce, and they use a pomegranate molasses, which I adore.
Wow.
And I know it's not easy to get, so I didn't make it.
But Debrianna, you're the queen of the meatballs, and you have to make this later.
Okay. I will.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Okay, so this is 1.5 cups of yogurt. That's going to go in this bowl. And I'm going to mix it with the garlic in a second. Oh, see, these don't take that long. Like if you want to toast nuts on the top of the stove instead of in the oven. Really, in a dry pan, it doesn't take that long. So
that's a good tip. And for the spices.
Yeah, and for the spices, yeah. So this little frying pan's already hot. I'm just going to put a tiny bit of oil in here. And that's what I'm going to just, probably a minute to a minute and a half. Take the edge off the garlic, that's all,
You don't want to burn it.
No, don't burn it.
It's easy to do. It's easy to burn. I've burnt so much garlic.
I know. It gets bitter if you do that.
Yeah.
So that's going to go right in the yogurt. And meanwhile, I'm going to give these nuts a rough chop. Really, the nuts and the pomegranate seeds are part of the decoration, but obviously it's delicious decoration and edible. Okay, these are done. Yeah. See, that didn't take that long. And they're already brown, so I'm going to get them out.
There you go.
Yeah. We don't want them to be bitter. And
no, you don't. Not like the way we are about the government.
So in case people
had to go there.
I know, I'm saying, in case people don't know what's going on in Iran, let's talk about it.
Okay, I was going to we'll post this on this thread for this show. There's an artist who did, I don't know if you saw it. I posted it a few months ago. There's an artist, Iranian artist, who posted this photography grid. And it starts with a person with their hair in like traditional dress and like jewelry and kind of expressing themselves fully as a human, right? A woman. And I think a woman and a child. And then every photo on the grid digresses until the end is full black burqa with just the eye slits progressively covered. And then the last square is just a black square with nothing. So it's the erasure of women, right? And the systematic erasure of women. And I feel like that piece just completely tells you all you need to know. But that's what it is. But it's crazy what's going on. And I think I don't know if you want to tell the story about the young woman who was killed and all that.
No, there's a lot of women. There's a lot of women that are being killed for wearing, for their hair showing. We were born with hair. Come on.
Well, they get fined, and they usually
Why do we not show it?
Well, they usually get a slap on the wrist from, stuff that's going on over there right now for this. But one woman did it recently, and she just disappeared in prison and died. And so it was like this trigger for this wave. I mean, it's not like that's the only time it's happened, obviously not. But the women in Iran are cutting off their hair in solidarity, in protest, in the streets. It's so dangerous. They don't have the type of freedom we do to protest and have freedom of speech.
We do so far.
And so they're just getting killed. They're getting imprisoned, and they don't care. Like, there's a photo going around, I don't know if you've seen it, of a whole bunch of schoolgirls going like this, taking off their headdresses to the Ayatollah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, the little ones. That's shocking. Are the little ones, because I don't think that's ever happened before.
But they're pissed because like the Taliban, they just want to go to school too, and they just want to have a life, and it's so depressingly sad. And I just think globally you can't really say there's improvement in women's lives until all women can be equal everywhere, Yeah. So it sucks, man.
Yeah, and we're on the verge here, people. I mean, I don't know. I sent you that guy who's running
that. I sent that to my mom, and she freaked. Okay, she freaked.
Yeah.
Yeah. So describe it.
Yeah.
In my life.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Well, I don't have it. It's a guy who's running in New Hampshire for the Senate. And he basically said that women are better off with men making their decisions for them. Much better off. It was just like, where is my burqa? Because it feels like I'm wearing one around here.
It's outrageous.
Mm-hmm.
Outrageous.
Yeah. Okay, Kelly, I'll put it up there. If you have time to complain, you have time to phone bank or text or post card.
Very good point.
Very good.
Don't waste your breath. I would like to call that state legislature of that guy in New Hampshire and give him what for?
Me
or
too.
His office, whatever.
I know.
I'd love to leave a voicemail.
Yeah. The other thing we could do is just donate to Maggie Hassan's campaign. Oh my God, these people.
We gotta hang on. I mean, I want the election to happen. I just want to know where we stand. Just being in limbo is so hard.
This is horrible. The waiting. Well, while you're waiting, make calls, text, write postcards, write letters. I'm writing letters for Beto. And I was going to write some for New Mexico. I think there's still a group that's doing some for people that are running in New Mexico. But I think one of my friends said they had everybody volunteered and all of the postcards are gone for Gabe Velasquez. So I'm glad.
If you're feeling really creative and you're good at comedy, the social media campaign of memes against Ronchetti, who's the gubernatorial challenger.
Not that weatherman who's running to be governor.
It is out of control. If you just go on the internet, if you're not from New Mexico, and just say, "Oh, Mark Ronchetti memes," it's insane. Like, our state has just gone berserk, but it's so funny and so good. I think it's really helping. It's funny.
Yeah. I do too. No, Ronchetti's a nut. But he's not alone. I mean, hello, 2 words, Herschel Walker.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh dear God. As a former state worker at a point in my life, it's really important that you have people that know how the government works, working for the government.
It's handy if that's your job.
I'm just saying, it's just really important. You can't just have like stars, D-list celebrities just go for politics. It's a big learning curve, okay?
Okay, so this is what I did. I put the yogurt with the garlic, mixed it up, and a teaspoon of kosher salt. Okay. And then, you could do that ahead of time and let it sit overnight too. I mean, you don't have to kind of go right away. So let me just check my puppies in here. See how they are. I have such cute kitties.
Your squash.
My squash. Oh God, they look great. They're not, what you want though is I put them on the bottom part of the oven, like the bottom third, because you want to get them with a little char on them. What happens when you do that is it brings out the sweetness, like it's pulling the sugar out of the vegetable. So like when you're caramelizing, carrots and onions and stuff for soup, if you want to get it to that stage where it's just getting a little brown, because that's what's bringing out the sugar,
right,
and that sweetness. So I'm gonna, let's see, I probably have another 5 minutes on here. Okay. And then I'm gonna let them cool and spread the yogurt around the underneath. I'm gonna let them cool a little bit and then put them on top of the yogurt. I don't want to melt the yogurt out. And then I'm gonna do nuts, pomegranate, and a little chili pepper. There's a kind of chili that is Iranian that I don't have. But if you do equal parts of red chili flakes and paprika, like a half a teaspoon of each one, and sprinkle that on the top, it gives it a little kick. I don't have it. It's called, what's it called? Pour bilber, but I don't have that. So a substitution would be to do that and just mix pepper.
This sounds like something you could substitute squash or any kind of root vegetable And it would be so tasty. Like, I just imagine beets would be really good with that.
Oh, yummy. Yeah. Well, who doesn't love beets? Don't say anything if you don't.
I mean, roasted beets. I don't think I've ever had roasted beets with garlicky yogurt and nuts, and pomegranate.
It would be delicious, only because I often have that in a salad, and all those things are in the salad. So
yeah, delicious.
Yeah, pumpkin is a good substitute too. So yeah, I will take a picture and post it.
Wonderful. And it could be a vegetarian main course. I mean,
absolutely. It absolutely could. If you served this with like hummus and some pita bread or some kind of flatbread, there's all kinds of Iranian breads. I thought about making them, but they all took yeast, so I didn't want to do that because we're not doing that length of show anymore. But any kind of bread like that, delicious.
Yes. This sounds so delicious, Debriana. Thank you for cooking it.
Yeah, and bless our sisters across the world and across the country, because many women in our country are also suffering under these GOP regimes that are taking women's rights away left and right.
Yes. And you've got to be aware and present, and you've got to vote.
Yeah. So here are some groups you can join. Everybody's active. There's so many. There's postcarding groups. I'm working with Vote Forward. That's who's doing the letters for Beto, and I'm sure they've got other letters going. There's so many groups. Just the DNC is doing calling. If you just get on the DNC website, they're calling every day. You can join a phone bank on Zoom or do it yourself, whatever you're comfortable with.
It's really easy. It's not like your old school ways of doing this. They got it all figured out. They just give you lists. It's not hard. It's really not.
Yeah, it's not hard.
Yeah.
And it's going to take all of us. We have to have a huge turnout.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or just leave fun voicemails for different candidates and give them your peace of mind. You can do that too.
It's always to do that, I think. Yeah, I was thinking of sending some things, but I won't. They want to know how my uterus is doing. They're all so interested. Perhaps we should just be calling them and telling them.
We should just send them some pictures that no one wants to see.
Yeah, right? Oh my God. Well, we've all seen Melania's. Ew. Anyway,
you had to say that
on that happy note.
Anywho, everybody
We'll see you guys next week.
Enjoy the fall weather. It's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fabulous. Yes.